This is Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on the DAZN. Was King of the Flies, now King of the Super Flies.
Yeah.
Jesse Rodriguez, thanks for giving me some of your time. How's things?
Yes, sir. Appreciate your time as well. But life's good. I've been back home, enjoying time with my daughter, with my girlfriend, with my puppies. So I can't complain.
Yeah. What dogs have you got?
I have two dachshunds now. I got two dachshunds and a chihuahua, but the chihuahua lives with my mom, and I recently just got a new dachshund puppy. So trying to potty train her has been rough, but we're getting there.
World champion life is not all about the glitz and glam.
Exactly.
That's for sure. Doing this today, there are so many media who want to hear what you've got to say. You've now got more belts. You've now got more Instagram followers. There's a lot more attention. How's life changed over the last couple of years for BAM?
Since that Quadras fight, my life has been more than I ever imagined. I never, I knew I was going to be where I am today, but I never imagined what it came with. I never pictured all of this, all the media, all the followers, all the belts. It's a blessing, and I can't complain. Life's good.
Do you enjoy the media? Because I guess it can be quite hectic. Like, I can imagine, I wasn't there on the Estrada fight week, but I can imagine every media that was there wanted to just get a little snippet of what BAM's got to say.
Yeah.
So do you enjoy it, or is it kind of a little bit too much at times?
I don't enjoy it, but I don't hate it either. I'm just used to it at this point. I know it comes with the territory of being in the spotlight, so I just go with the flow, and I just do interviews with whoever wants to interview me. So
Yeah, like that man of the people.
Yeah.
That belt over your shoulder, what does that mean to you? We've just seen you being given it by a member of the WBC committee. It looks beautiful, and I believe you said now it's got your face on.
Yeah.
Where's the face? Can we see
right here.
right on the end? Oh, that is a baby face, man.
Yeah.
What does that belt mean to you?
This wasn't even that long ago, but this belt means a lot more than the first one. The first one does hold a special place in my heart just because it was my first world title, but this one's a little different because Estrada held it at the time. He was a champion, and I took it from him, so it just means a lot more, and it has my face on it too, so it's just a little more special.
Yeah, having your face next to the greats on that belt is
Yeah.
pretty cool, I've got to
Yeah.
say. I know Eddie said then that you were kicking yourself that you got dropped in the fight, and I was just thinking that makes me laugh. You've achieved so much in such a short time in your career. You're sitting there with that belt, yet you were kicking yourself because you got dropped. Are you that much of a perfectionist? Like, are you one who would look at your last two performances, which were brilliant, and still nitpick little things?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot more that I have to showcase. Being dropped, it probably shouldn't have happened. I got a little bit careless and ended up on the floor, but I've always wanted to experience something like that. I've always wanted to be a part of a great fight like that. I always imagined in my head, me dropping my opponent, and then him dropping me, and then me dropping him again.
It's
so,
like a Rocky movie,
yeah,
back and forth. Yeah.
Like, I would always play that moment in my head whenever I was, having free time, but to actually be a part of it, it was a special night, and I'm very grateful for everything that I experienced that night.
What goes through a fighter's mind when you're on the floor? Is there like an immediate panic, or because I guess you don't train for that, but because you're so well trained, can you keep your head to like a cool level, or is there like an immediate panic that sets in? Talk me through how
with that moment, it was more of a flash knockdown, so by the time I even hit the floor, I already knew that it was no big deal. I got up laughing, and I continued the round, and I believe I won that round still, so it wasn't a big deal. Maybe there is different knockdowns people have experienced where they're not even there mentally, so luckily it wasn't that bad, and I was able to finish the fight and go ahead and stop him.
It's interesting to see that, because obviously something us guys would never get to experience, and champions like yourself do. Have you thought too much about what's next? Because again, just referencing when you were sitting with Eddie, it sounds like, I guess that's his job as your promoter, but it sounds like let Eddie kind of just make the decisions and you get in there and fight and win belts. Have you thought too much, or is it, look, I'm going to leave this to the other guys?
Yeah, it's always been that way, but I have always, had opponents in my sight. I believe, Estrada, he has a rematch clause, so if that goes through, then I rematch him. But the person I do want to fight, if it's not him, is Puma Martinez, just because he holds two belts at the time as well.
Yeah. So for you, is becoming undisputed, or unifying and then becoming undisputed, more important at this current time than heading for the big fights? Because Chocolatito is a huge fight.
Yeah.
Of course, the rematch, if Estrada's to take it, is a massive fight. But is unifying and then becoming undisputed the most important thing for BAM right now?
Yeah, I feel like right now is the perfect time. It's just two more fights to be undisputed. If everything does go according to plan, hopefully I do get the Puma Martinez fight, and then all that's left is a WBO against I forgot his name, but he's the Japanese fighter. So I mean, if it all plays
Josiah
out,
Tanaka.
yeah, Tanaka. If it all plays out, then that's great. But if not, then there's bigger things to do at 118 as well.
Yeah, obviously I know you've been fighting stateside. You've built a really good fan base, and that's only increasing on the fights. But I know you went to Japan 'cause I saw it on your Instagram.
Yeah.
You take quite cool photos as well, I have to
I
say.
appreciate it. Thank you.
So you went to Japan. There's a few Japanese fighters in the
Yeah.
division. I'm up for that.
Yeah.
A trip to Japan to see you fight in
Yeah.
Japan. Is that something that you've thought about or could be a possibility?
Of course, I love being in Japan just as a tourist, but to go out there and experience Fight Week would be something special. So if it does happen, then I'm up for it, whoever it is.
Yeah. Well, obviously, first I guess we've got to wait to see if Estrada takes the rematch. Do you believe in your heart of hearts that he does?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
because
just the
he's
champion inside him that is
yeah,
dying
I
to get
mean,
that belt back.
I feel like he thinks that he can do more in the rematch, so I believe he does take it, the rematch. But
Okay.
I mean, I feel like it's going to be the same result.
Yeah. Well, I guess if he is to perform better in the rematch, you're going to go and believing that you're a better version of
Yeah,
yourself too.
yeah, of course. I feel like mentally, physically, I'm a whole different fighter than I was that night. So it's only going to be a better Bam Rodriguez that night.
Just from the UK angle, I've got to brush over Sonny Edwards. I know it was never, well, it never seemed like, I know you can tell me different, it never seemed like there was huge bad blood there. But I
Yeah.
love seeing the respect that Sonny's got for you now. He always talks really highly of you in the UK. I
Yeah.
see him commenting on your Instagram
Yeah.
photos. Just talk to me about that time period, because you had the back and forth, something you hadn't experienced in a title fight yet. Then you had the fight, you come out victorious, and there seems to be that respect now. So talk to me about the way that kind of developed between you and Sonny.
Well, at first it was, we weren't really cool at the time. He was talking a lot, saying things, but it was just to build up the fight. And then after that, we squashed it. And I mean, he's a homie now. I see him around and we say what's up. He watched me train for a little bit, fight week for Estrada. So, I mean, he's just a cool guy. Someone you want to be around. He's funny, good for the sport, and when he steps in the ring, he's entertaining as well. So he's a cool person overall.
Just say it ever comes to work back that you two do fight. Will it be difficult now? Now you're best friends.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe we have to see, but I mean, I would love to share the ring with him again, whether it's a fight or sparring. He's just a cool guy.
Yeah, mate, come to the UK. We
Yeah.
want to see you in the UK. That would
I
be
know.
one that our UK fans would love.
Yep.
Just one more thing. We're here in Los Angeles for a reason. Riyadh season. Terence Crawford, Israel Madrimov, El Rayo. Talk to me. I saw him spar a couple of years ago, and
Yeah.
me and some of my guys have been banging on about him back home and saying to the UK guys, keep an eye on this guy. Brilliant win against Chris Colbert last
Yep.
time out, and you see him up closer, better than everyone else. So tell us a little bit about Rayo.
Yeah, Rayo, I got a lot closer to him in this camp. He was there my whole training camp, so I shared the gym with him every day. He's a cool person, great fighter. I feel like he's improved a lot since that Chris Colbert fight, just because he added Robert Garcia to the team. So he's picked up a lot of tricks that Robert knows. And I saw him spar a couple times before I headed out to fight week, but I mean, he was looking good back then, so I can only imagine now. And I believe Saturday night he's going to shock the world.
Does it have to be an exciting fight? I mean, look at the way Pitbull fights, and
Yeah.
I've seen, of course, El Rayo fight too. Is it a fight that just has to be exciting?
Yeah, I
Saturday
mean,
night?
that fight's not going the distance. I don't think it's going the distance. I think Rao knocks him out. He's gonna catch Pitbull when he's opening, with the white hook or something like that. But just watch.
Yeah. Watch 100%. I've got to ask you, seeing as you're a pound for pound star yourself, Terence Crawford, just how good is he?
Crawford's. I feel like he's the best, honestly, skill wise. If you were to look at the pound for pound, I believe he's the one with the most skills.